Woo, it's playoff time, baby. Who's ready to take the crown? Let's get it. What's good, beautiful people? Man, the NBA playoffs have officially begun. So far, the Utah Jazz are matching up with the Dallas Mavericks, and that's going to be an interesting series. We're going to get into all of that. We're going to talk about some of the matchups, but we're going to start off with my Philadelphia 76ers. They face off against the Toronto Raptors today at 6 p.m. Eastern time on ESPN. And this series is not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination. The Toronto Raptors match up with us very well, especially on the perimeter. They don't really have a big man that can really stop Joel Embiid, but they have a lot of guys, a lot of perimeter guys, a lot of wings that have long arms, and they can get those hands in the passing lanes. They play great defense, and it's going to be a tough matchup. But overall, I expect my Philadelphia 76ers to win in 6 games. But the caveat of this series is the fact that Matisse Thybulle won't be able to play road games in Toronto because of his COVID vaccination status. And on top of that, there's going to be a tough matchup when it comes to Pascal Siakam. Now, if you ask me, Paul Reed needs to be on Pascal Siakam every stretch of the damn game. If you ask me, it's really no conversation about it. DeAndre Jordan is not quick enough or fast enough or not athletic enough to be able to run with him. The Toronto Raptors are going to force us to play transition defense, and they're going to hustle to every play. The Toronto Raptors are actually one of the better rebounding teams in the NBA. So the Philadelphia 76ers have a tall task ahead of them, especially when it comes to trying to out-hustle to try to outwork the Toronto Raptors. But I believe my Sixers can win it out in 6 games. I do believe we will drop one at home. It's just a foregone conclusion. We're going to drop one at home, but we need to take a 2-0 lead going into the road in Toronto. We can't afford to lose early home games. I'm expecting Joel Embiid to do Joel Embiid things. James Harden and Tobias Harris have to step up. I have no doubt in Tyrese Maxey's resolve, but James Harden and Tobias Harris, those two are the wild cards. We need those guys to tremendously step up and actually play above the level of play they've given us as of late. James Harden has been cold. Tobias Harris has been inconsistent. Then Doc Rivers is coaching. He can't afford to hold this team back any longer. He needs to be able to make adjustments on the fly and shit like that. But when you think about the other playoff matchups, it's really interesting because a lot of these other teams, man, wow, the play-ins were just spectacular. The New Orleans Pelicans were able to squeak in. The Atlanta Hawks were able to get into the playoffs as well. And it's so funny because the Atlanta Hawks, they're on our side of the bracket, and they knocked us out of the playoffs last year. So I know the Atlanta Hawks are going to give the Miami Heat some challenges because they're so potent on offense. But I do expect the Miami Heat to win that series, maybe in 5 or 6 games. The Milwaukee Bucks versus the Chicago Bulls, I expect the Bucks to win that series in about 5 games, 6 at the most. That Boston-Brooklyn series, man, I think that series is going to go to 6 games, maybe 7 games. But I do expect Brooklyn to end up winning that series in the end. I expect Milwaukee to win their series in the end. I expect the Sixers to win their series in the end, and I expect the Miami Heat to win their series in the end. You think about the Phoenix Suns and the New Orleans Pelicans, I say Phoenix in 5 games. I think the Pelicans may still win at home, but I say the Pelicans in 5 games. The Dallas-Utah series, that honestly might go 6 or 7 games because Luka's hurt. And the Jazz, they have their deficiencies. And Dallas, they're a tough team. So I expect that series to go 6 games minimum. But I do expect the Utah Jazz to take that series overall. I expect the Phoenix Suns to take their series overall. Golden State Denver, that's going to be a very interesting series. I expect that series to go 6 or 7 games. This first round in the playoffs overall is going to be really interesting because most of these teams are pretty much evenly matched, and matchups matter at the end of the day. But the final series I want to discuss is the Memphis Grizzlies and Minnesota Timberwolves series. That series arguably might be the most entertaining series of the first round because of how tough of an out Minnesota will be. They play great defense, and they have some young talent that's coming up over there with Anthony Edwards, D'Angelo Russell, who's their veteran, and Karl-Anthony Towns. And then you got Patrick Beverley, who's going to be guarding John Morant. John Morant has fresh legs. You know, he hasn't really been doing too much these past few weeks because he had an injury, but again, he has fresh legs. He's going to be fully healthy. You got to watch out for guys like Desmond Bane over there. What's my man? I think his name Jared. What's my man name over there? Wow. I'm forgetting his name. They're big man. But overall, this is going to be a very interesting first round in the playoffs. Going to be super competitive. Once again, my picks are the Memphis Grizzlies are going to win that series against the Minnesota Timberwolves in 6 games, maybe 7 games. I expect the Golden State Warriors to win that series. Well, actually, it all depends on if Steph comes back too. That's interesting. That's a real interesting series. But I expect Golden State to win that series in 7 games. I expect the Utah Jazz to win their series in 6 games. I expect the Phoenix Suns to win their series in 5 games. I expect the Miami Heat to win their series in 6 games. I expect the Sixers to win their series in 6 games. I expect Milwaukee to win their series in 5 games. And I expect Brooklyn to win their series in 6 games. But I'll leave it at that, you guys. I want you guys to comment below. Who do you guys think will move on to the second round of the playoffs? Who do you guys think will be the MVP of the first round for each of the teams? Which, as a matter of fact, which team will pull off an upset? I want you guys to comment below. I'm so curious about this. This is going to be a hell of a playoffs. I'm so excited about this. Right now, the Dallas Mavericks and the Utah Jazz are playing. And if I'm not mistaken, the score for that series right now is 21-18. Heading into the second quarter. So we'll see how things pan out, you guys. I'm your humble host, Tony DeShields II from Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got charged to the game. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe for more content. One love, stay humble, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay hungry.